Here are the top 5 neighborhoods in Alameda, California. Hey there and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kristin Struzyna. This is my husband Hans. We're with the Gunderman Group at Keller Williams Luxury International, and today we want to bring you the top 5 neighborhoods in Alameda, California. If you are considering a move here, then you're going to want to watch this video.
We've been living here and working here for over 10 years and have had a lot of opportunity to explore and in many cases live in these different neighborhoods. And so we are hoping to bring our knowledge to you here in this video. So if you get value out of it, make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel, and comment below if there's another neighborhood that you think we missed in this top 5 list.
So before we dive into the top 5 neighborhoods, a little bit more about the city of Alameda. Alameda is an island city in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's in the East Bay, just off of Oakland, California, over the estuary. And it consists of not only the main island, but also Bay Farm Island, which is actually a peninsula down near the Oakland airport. It's got about 78,000 people living on it, and like Hans said, we love living here, and we're really excited to talk to you about the top 5 neighborhoods. So let's dive in.
Number 1 is the Fernside. We put this at number 1 for a couple reasons. Number 1, it's architecturally diverse. It's got a ton of really mature trees, beautiful streets, a strong sense of community, and in general, a variety of housing stock. So you've got some smaller houses, you've got the big, large ones too. And so you've got, on average, a little bit more diversity relative to entry points into that neighborhood. In addition, you are zoned into Edison Elementary, which by many counts is the number 1 elementary school here in Alameda. Some people would argue on that, but that's general sentiment for you, and that's what we're using as our top 5 list. As well, it's really easy to get on and off the island because you can either go on High Street or Fruitvale Bridge, and that takes you right to 80, which gets you to the rest of the East Bay in no time at all.
Number 2 on the top 5 list of Alameda neighborhoods is the Gold Coast. Now, this is where we live, and we were tempted to put this as number 1, as many people do see this as the top neighborhood in Alameda. However, the homes here are larger, and so the entry point to get into this neighborhood is higher, and there's not quite the diversity of size of homes like what you see in the Fernside. That said, many of the homes here are on dead-end streets, which is really desirable for people. There's tons of kids playing in the streets here. It's really beautiful tree-lined streets as well, and also a really good sense of community. The Gold Coast is anchored by Franklin Park, which also has Franklin Elementary right next to it. So really fabulous elementary school there, and the park is a meeting place for a lot of the community members with tennis courts, pool, the whole thing.
So if you are thinking that this is a place that you want to live, meaning Alameda, the Gold Coast, Fernside, whatever, we've got a whole relocation guide that we've built and we've put together for you to download. It's down in the description of the video, so you can check that out. And we are going to be doing the top 5 most underrated neighborhoods in Alameda. We'll link to that up here when it's ready. Number 3, our number 3 neighborhood in Alameda is Harbor Bay. Now, a lot of people might see this as a bit controversial, but hang on. So Harbor Bay was a housing development built on Bay Farm Island between the 60s and the 80s. And a lot of those homes are, as a result, much newer. You don't get the architectural diversity out there, but you get a lot more modern construction and more up-to-date floor plans and things like laundry on the 2nd level, bigger closets, no knob and tube wiring, stuff like that. As well, there was a really thoughtful urban planning and design that went in, so you get a lot of green belts, a lot of pedestrian paths, parks sprinkled in, and in general, these little cozy communities that live very comfortably, and a lot of people do like going out there. It's just a simpler, easy lifestyle because of how new and well thought out and laid out it was. Depending on which community you live in out in Harbor Bay, because there are about 8 of them under the umbrella of Harbor Bay, you do catch airplane noise from the Oakland airport, but you also get proximity to a ferry terminal that takes you to San Francisco. So cons and pros there, of course. And you are a little disconnected from Alameda itself, but in general, it's a very family-friendly place. It's a very easy place to live, and the homes are newer in build, so you don't get old house problems out there.
Number 4 on the top 5 list of Alameda neighborhoods is the Bronze Coast. This is also a neighborhood that we have lived in, and really fabulous neighborhoods. So what you'll see in this neighborhood is a little bit more diversity of housing types. So you'll get single family homes, of course, also a few apartment complexes and condo complexes in there as well. One of the things that people love about the Bronx Coast is that it is in the Alameda High School district rather than being in the Encinal district, which tends to rank just a little bit higher. The Bronx Coast has a very strong community to it. You'll see a lot of people out walking in the streets, talking to their neighbors, getting to know each other. And one of the things that's also great about it is that it's really close to Park Street. So if you want to walk to dinner, or if you want to bike down one of the slow streets like San Jose to get to dinner, it's a really easy way to do that.
And rounding out our list for top 5 neighborhoods in Alameda is the East End. Now, Fernside is also in the East End, but what you'll find is the next neighborhood over in the Otis School District generally is the East End, generally speaking. What we find here is you've got a really interesting variety of housing stock. You've got little bungalows next to these kind of Frankenstein houses that have been added onto 4 times next to some beautiful Victorian. There's a big variety out there, big variety of price points, entry level, all the way from the low end of $800-900 all the way up to a couple $2 million in some cases. You also will find that it's a little sleepier over there. It's very slow. There's not a lot of density. There's not a lot of, multifamily or apartment buildings or any of that kind of thing, but you definitely find kind of an interesting and in some cases bizarre housing stock. But generally it's very desirable. You've got a really strong sense of community as well. And we wanted it on this list, didn't know where else to put it, so it's number 5 for no other reason that there has to be 5.
So that rounds out our top 5 neighborhoods here in Alameda. If you want to take a deeper dive on these and many of the other neighborhoods in Alameda, we've put together an Alameda relocation guide, which you can download in the link down in the description. And this goes through all the neighborhoods in Alameda, the schools, the density, what you can expect as far as parking, places to eat, the whole thing. So if you are interested in diving deeper on these, do go and download that. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any other videos we put out. And until next time, we'll see you on the next one.